Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Elvis Forum. And today we have a very special guest, TCB Steve, since '73.
Hello.
And
Hi,
it's
Steve.
me and Adam. It's me and Adam this time, along with Steve. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a ranking video, and we're looking at, how can I put this? We're going to try and rank the music that came out on albums that Elvis recorded in the '60s, not for his soundtracks. So no live albums, no soundtrack albums, and no golden or gold records compilations. We've added a few bonus albums, a few albums that you might not be expecting, just to round it up to an even 10. So I think we can begin, yeah. So why don't we have guests go first? We're going to go down from 10 to 1 and just make a few comments here and there as we go along. Just a bit of fun, so don't take it too seriously if you're not into ranking videos. But yeah, over to Steve for his number 10.
All right, number 10 then is Elvis Sings Flaming Star. It's to me it's an odd collection of songs, a couple of really good ones and then fillers. I rank albums by the quality of the songs because Elvis's performances are going to be great, the musicians are going to be great. So what are the songs like? What's the quality of the songs? So for me, that's number 10.
Absolutely, yeah. How about you, Adam, number 10?
Well, predictably, I came in with the same answer. I do think this is a special album for me, but that's for different reasons. But like you say, just because of the compilation that it is, compared to the other studio albums, it comes in at number 10. And this will probably pop up in a future video when we look at Camden's, I think, in the future.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
10.
Well, I'm going to surprise you. My number 10 is also Flaming Star. This one was actually probably the first Elvis album I ever knew in my life. It was one of only 2 records, Elvis records, that we had in our house. And I remember it was one with the green label, so it must have been a original UK one. Never really made that much of an impression on me, apart from Flaming Star and Too Much Monkey Business. But it's not a bad compilation overall, considering they are leftovers. It's not a bad set of leftovers. And you do get the nice bonus of Tiger Man at the end, which is an odd selection, but when you consider the album was done in conjunction with the singer sewing company who sponsored the TV special, then it makes sense, I suppose.
I think that's why it was special to me, because of the whole Singer 68. But I think it actually contained the first ever live recording release
of an Elvis. Okay, so did that one come out before the TV special then?
Yeah. I think it did, didn't it?
It was available from the Singer shops, wasn't it?
Yeah. With the Camden albums, I kind of get them a little bit confused. I'm not entirely certain when they came out. Did they come out before the main studio album or just after it?
Because of course the Singer wasn't a Camden originally.
No, it was an RCA. Yeah.
Have you got the original American one?
Yeah, that's. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
It says Singer at the top.
Yeah. Is it? Would you say it's like an orange label or a tan? It's kind of a funny color, isn't it?
It's been a while since I've had it. I
can never really say what color it is. It looks tan on the screen, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is sort of a strange orange color. Yeah.
Yeah, pale orange. That one as well. Oh, everybody's got it. Oh, well, we're all up to speed on that one. Oh, wow, there you go. That Adam trumps everybody there. He's got the bonus picture.
So that's the that one is in the RCA Camden at the moment, and that's the RCA Singer.
Oh. So. Will that picture have come with the Singer? Originally?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think I've just mixed them up when I've been looking at them.
I found a copy of that in Japan for sale online. They were asking about 100. What would it be about 80 quid, I suppose? $100, 75 pound. and I just couldn't bring myself to buy it. I agonized over it, but didn't bother. Not just for the sake of a picture. Right, shall we move on to 9 then? Adam, what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Elvis for Everyone. And to demonstrate them, I'm using the Elvis album collection. I thought it was a nice, quick, easy way to get them together. For me, it's a nice compilation, and I think it's number 9. None of these are bad albums, so it's not a worst to best. But again, I just think there's so many more albums that really top this.
Right.
So that's my number 9.
All right, Steve, what's your number 9?
My number 9. Oops. I looked everywhere for the album, but as I've only got one copy, it's very difficult for me to find.
Right.
So I dug out the CDs for the Asking and the American. And my reason for this, first of all, it's a bit of a cheat, because RCA wouldn't release a 15-track album. So it was never a lost album in the form that it's been put out now. Again, for me, the songs just don't hang together very well. There's some fantastic songs amongst them. For me, it doesn't work as an album. What the actual album would have been, because of course it probably would have been 10 tracks. We'll never know. But so that comes in at number 9 for me.
Yep. So I'll just explain at this point why we've put this in. This is also my number 9 as well. I was able to find the album. I don't have as many records as Steve. We put this in because it was kind of supposed to be an album. The songs were recorded with an album in mind, but it didn't come out because of other soundtrack albums. And yeah, I've got it down as at number 9, pretty much for the same reasons that Steve said. It wouldn't have quite been this way. Devil in Disguise and Please Don't Drag That String Out wouldn't have been on here because they didn't release singles on albums. And I think that the quality of the sessions was not as good as it had been on Potluck and Something for Everybody. I definitely think that the quality dropped a little bit, although there are some really good songs like Ask Me and Memphis, Tennessee. So that would be my 9 as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Steve, what about number 8?
Number 8, Elvis for Everyone, or this French release, Memphis, Tennessee. But it is in fact Elvis for Everyone. Again, the songs just don't hang together for me. They've come from various sources. So while individually there's some great songs on there, as an album it doesn't hang together.
Yep. Okay, good stuff. In fact, my number 8 is also Elvis for Everyone. I'll just pull out a copy I got recently of it. I remember reading in a book, an Elvis book. I used to read a lot of biographies when I was in my teenage years, and I remember one writer describing it as a bag of leftovers. But I've always thought, well, if that's a bag of leftovers, then let's have some more Elvis leftovers. But the music does come from all over the place. It's slightly too unplugged for me. It's got just slightly too many acoustic numbers. Forget Me Never, In My Way, Sound Advice, and Santa Lucia. And in Britain, we had Wild in the Country on there as well. So it was almost like 50% unplugged. So I think if they'd put one more rocker on instead of Santa Lucia, it would have been better. But pretty good album overall. What's your number 8, Adam?
Well, I really struggled between Elvis for Everyone and For the Asking. So number 8. Now I no longer have any copies of For the Asking. I must have got rid of them at some point. So FTD Classic Albums released it as Memphis, Tennessee. It was also released on LP as Memphis, Tennessee. And then you had the sessions set for it. Again, some great songs on it. But it ranks low because it was never really an album. And all the tracks ended up just being scattered and wasted really as bonus tracks along the years, which... that's why it comes in lower down my list.
Yeah, I think it's a shame that they didn't release it in retrospect, because had they done so, they would have had to rethink their soundtrack LP strategy. Ideally, I think it would have been great if they could have released double features LPs back then, with like one soundtrack on one side and another on the other, because they were so short that you could probably fit them on one side. But that defeats the whole point of the soundtracks and the movies promoting each other. But in theory, I think I would have preferred that.
It's astonishing when you think that the soundtracks were outselling all these albums.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so that's another reason why they wouldn't have done a double features.
Yeah, and I think when you mentioned the concept, David, I was quite surprised when I was looking through the studio albums where you've got this massive gap in the mid 60s to late 60s where it's just constant soundtracks,
Yeah, which would have been even longer had there not been an Elvis for Everyone album.
I think I'd have liked them if they had released that lost album. If they'd done the soundtracks like Loving You, where you had the soundtrack and some more new recordings.
Yeah.
We might have gained a lot of new songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's bizarre when you think of the films that didn't get soundtrack albums. Like Viva Las Vegas was crying out. That would have been a #1 easy. But there was no album.
Rock as well. I mean,
astonishing.
Two of the biggest soundtracks and films didn't have an album. Two #1s lost there.
I think Viva Las Vegas just came at the wrong time, didn't it? They'd been releasing all those soundtrack albums, and probably they thought, hang on a minute, we can't release another one, can we? And it's just a shame that Viva Las Vegas had to be the one that didn't get released. #7 for me is His Hand in Mine. And like I think Adam said, I like all these albums. His Hand in Mine was the first Elvis gospel album I ever heard, and I was struck by how he seemed to be singing differently to what I'd heard on any other album, and I really, really loved it and still do. But I just don't think it has the kind of the ups and downs that you get with How Great Thou Art and He Touched Me. It seems to be kind of stuck in middle gear. But having said that, I do tend to like all the songs on it. But I will put that at #7. How about you, Adam?
#7, Potluck. Some of my favourite songs are on this, but as a whole album, it's just a little bit lower than some of the other ones. Yeah, that's it for me. 7.
Good stuff. How about you, Steve?
Yep. Potluck. Again, it's the quality of the songs. There are some fantastic tracks amongst it, but there's also a few that I can do without. Getting this out, I noticed on the back, on the American and all the other releases, it says a great collection of his tracks. On the UK one, it's got a great collection of L tracks.
Right. Yeah, L tracks.
I've never spotted that before. That's horrible.
Yeah, apparently he didn't like being called L, did he?
Don't know where that came from. Who thought of that?
What are the tracks that you're not that keen on, Steve?
Oops. Stepping Out of Line.
Right.
Fountain of Love never really did it for me.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's funny how people have different. And I'm Yours. I don't know. It just never really grabbed me. I'm Yours.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, that's a song, it depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes I play it and I love it, and other times I play it and I think I want to skip.
Right.
It's a strange.
Yeah, I'm not that keen on the organ, but then there's a similar organ sound on Ask Me, which I absolutely love. So maybe it's just the notes they're playing.
Now it's really getting difficult.
Yeah.
With a selection, and I think my selection could change every day.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
#6, How Great Thou Art. Superb album, and like I say, we're really getting into the cream now of some of his best albums ever. I just absolutely love it from the first time I heard it. Not a bad track on it, you know, brilliant.
Yep. But number 6, yeah, number 6. How about you, Steve?
His hand in mine. It's the songs aren't as strong for me as on How Great Thou Art, and it tends to be at a certain level which he never rises above. Sings fantastically on it, but it's got its level and it stays there.
Okay, number 6 for me is it's kind of a bonus album. Some of you might object to it being here at all, but I'm going to put it in anyway. It's Back in Memphis. So this is an album that, of course, came out on the From Memphis to Vegas, Vegas to Memphis album, but I think it should be considered on its own as a single album, since it was anyway released as a single album subsequently. For me, it's kind of let down by a couple of things. One, just not quite enough songs. I think it was kind of a foretaste of what was to come in the 70s with those 10 tracks. I think if they'd put Suspicious Minds on there, maybe just close to the end of side 2, that would have been really good. And apart from that, really, there's not much wrong with it. I'm not that keen on From a Jack to a King, but that's probably the only less than great song I think on the album. And what's the other one I never used to like? The Fair's Moving On. That one's starting to grow me now. I really do like the choruses. The verses are still a bit slow for me, but yeah, really good album, but just not quite as good as the other Memphis album.
I'm still trying to recover from what you said about one of my favorite songs.
Which one?
From a Jack to a King.
All right, you are into From a Jack to a King. Oh.
I love it. And
right.
You know, because you can hear the smile in Elvis's vocal as he's singing it.
Yeah.
It's such an infectious, just ball of a song. I've always loved it. But,
the first time I heard it was on a single. It was released on the B-side of a single in England, wasn't it? What was it?
It was on the B-side of the Laughing version of Are You Lonesome Tonight?
Yeah. So that was the first time I'd ever heard it, and I really liked it back then. It's just one of those songs that over the years it's just kind of slipped down my chart, if you like.
I think some songs suffer from being well known before Elvis did them. It's because I've noticed there's several songs like that are very well known songs that Elvis sang that I tend not to play very much.
All right. I never knew that one before I did the Elvis one.
I think it was Ed Miller, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a country and western song.
Yeah. Right. No, I didn't know it well before then. I think I had heard it, but
my mum was into country and western, so she had a lot of singles. So I heard a lot of these things.
Right. Yeah, my mum was kind of into country a little bit as well. When I showed her the From Elvis and Memphis album, she said, "Oh, look, it's got It Keeps Right On Hurting. I like that one." She knew the Johnny Tillotson version. All right, so if we move on to 5 then, Adam, what's your number 5?
5 is Something for Everybody. Again, what can you say about the album? I mean, it's just a great album. It just slips just behind my next 4, really. Yeah, just superb again. I Slipped, I Stumbled, I Fell was an odd track on it. I think with it being a movie song. Yeah, really great album.
Well, I'll go next because I'm the same as you. I'm going to put that one at number 5 as well. I'll just show you an old copy that I've got of it, actually, that I got a while back. Anybody ever seen the Best Buy version of this album? It's glaring because it's got the shrink on it. I think in fact it's still sealed as well.
Nice. And
the back cover is totally different, very plain, but I don't mind it. I was never that keen on the original back cover. Yeah, so this one's number 5 for me as well. I really like side 1 on this album. I think it's pretty close to perfect. The songs on the rhythm side, so-called rhythm side, there's some strong ones on there, but there are a few less good ones, like In Your Arms and Put the Blame on Me, I Want You With Me, But I like the first. Yeah, I'm Coming Home and Judy. I really like those two. Slipped, I Stumbled, I Fell. Maybe it would have been better if they'd put I Feel So Bad on there, but of course they put that out as a single. How about you, Steve? What's your number 5?
We all agree. Something for Everybody. This is the Argentinian copy.
Nice.
I think the only thing this album suffers from is something that all of Elvis's albums suffered from, and that is not having hit singles on them. And I think that is what holds a lot of Elvis's albums back from being considered classic albums, because I don't think he gets the credit as an album artist that a lot of other artists get. And it is purely because they didn't put the hit singles on. And that's what holds this album down. Other than that, it's a fantastic selection of songs and an album that I really like. It's one of the albums that I do tend to listen to as an album.
Right.
There's a lot of others. I play compilations and things, but I really like this album.
Yep. All right. Now we're getting to the real meat now. Number 4. Can I stick with you, Steve? What's your number 4?
Yep. Number 4, How Great Thou Art. I think the songs on here are fantastic. There isn't a weak song on the album. They got Crying in the Chapel on there, thankfully. And I just think it's a fantastic album. Whether you're religious or not, it's a fantastic album. So that's my number 4.
Okay, good stuff. How about you, Adam?
Mine would be Back in Memphis. Now, I totally disagree with everything you said, David, about this album. And that's the good thing about Elvis's music, that we all like different tracks, albums, songs. I think You'll Think of Me is a work of art. It's one of the most interesting songs he's recorded.
Oh yeah, I love that too.
Sorry?
I love that too, yeah.
And I love the use of a sitar on it,
Mm-hmm.
which was quite popular at the time with bands and artists. Stranger in My Own Hometown is one of my favourite Elvis tracks. I love the drive and the attack on that. From a Jack to a King, which I mentioned is one of my favourite tracks that just makes me smile. It's the kind of track I put on the car and I'll just play it constantly for an hour.
All right.
For me, there's not a bad track on this. It's 100% one of my favourite listens. I totally love it.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it too. But it's, as you say, when you get into the top 6 or 7, it's pretty hard going. So we're at 4 now, right? My number 4 is well, you can see the yellow albums here, the yellow spines. That's Potluck. That's my number 4. And just as I really adore side 1 of Something for Everybody, I think side 2 of Potluck is also like just perfection. But I think side 1 is stronger than the rhythm side of Something for Everybody. And I do actually quite like Stepping Out of Line. And it kind of has a different sound to it than the rest of the album. But I kind of like the edginess that it has, that raw edge to it. So that would be my number 4. Adam, can we go to your number 3?
My number 3 might surprise people a little bit, this one. Elvis is Back. Again, I mean, it's so difficult to choose from all these, sort of from 7 onwards, really. You know, different albums could be my favourites at any time. But Elvis is Back, again, just a great selection of songs, really. Great recordings. Probably another one of my favourite tracks on here is Fever. Always love that song and that recording. But yeah, cracker.
Good stuff. Yeah, I wonder if Fever is more well known to British fans than I don't know, from people from other countries, because we got it on the 40 Greatest Elvis 40 Greatest album.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I can go to my number three. My number three is How Great Thou Art, which is, I've got a copy of it back there somewhere. Yeah, I kind of agree with what Steve said about this album, really, and no bad songs on this whatsoever. I was quite a late comer to this album because I never owned it as a young Elvis fan. But as I hinted before when I was talking about His Hand in Mine, I just think it's got more of a variety in it and sort of more sort of ups and downs to it. So yeah, that would be my number three.
Back in Memphis.
Oh, you've got the red vinyl version.
Yeah. Again, a superb selection of songs that work really well together as an album. They just flow really well. And to me, I make an equivalence that from Elvis in Memphis is Blonde on Blonde. It has this sharp sound to it. Back in Memphis is Highway 61 Revisited. It's got a fuller, deeper sound to it. And I just really enjoy this album. Again, it's an album that I play as an album. I think it's a fantastic selection of songs. Everything about it, top class.
All right. Well, if I can move on to my number two, this is an agonizing decision, as I'm sure you can appreciate. But sticking with Memphis, my number two would be From Elvis in Memphis. Again, it's difficult really to say why it's not number one, but I think it's probably because on both sides there's just a lull in a similar point on both sides. And maybe Adam, you might disagree with me again on this one, but it's those country songs that you hear around about the middle of the sides. It Keeps Right On Hurting, which I mentioned my mum liked, and True Love Travels on a Gravel Road. So they kind of just the tension just drops, the quality just drops a teeny bit for me at that point on both sides, but otherwise just perfect. That would be my number two. How about you, Adam?
Mine is His Hand in Mine. And again, difficult way to position this with some of the great albums we just discussed. I go back to when I first picked up an original pressing on record of this album. And the first time I played it, I thought it was the best recording I'd ever heard in my life. I just thought the quality of the recording itself, Elvis's voice, his control and restrained performance of them. Like you said, that it doesn't seem to be full of highs and lows within the recording, but it's just such a superb recording. And again, I love every track. And the musicians are great. It's almost, to me, sounds like the peak of RCA recording engineering with this album. That's why I put it up so high.
Right. Was that Bill Porter?
I think it was that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was 60, wasn't it, to 63? Yeah,
I think recordings went a little bit backwards after this. You know, and after around about 62, yeah, I just think as they went into sort of 8-track, 16-track, and everything, I don't think you got the sound that you got.
Which is ironic, given that the technology was improving.
We are a bit spoiled with Elvis at RCA because we're used to this fantastic clean sound. It's only when you listen to other artists of the same period that you do appreciate the quality of what RCA were doing.
Maybe a case of less is more than.
Yeah, I mean, you listen to people rave on about Abbey Road studios and things like that, but you listen to some 1960s recordings from Abbey Road. They're not a patch on what RCA were doing.
I'm not sure that Abbey Road's equipment was actually all that high tech at the time. I could be wrong, but I think it might have been a bit old anyway. Not to get Beatles. That's right there. All right, Steve, you're number two.
Number two is Elvis is back. This is the Cuban Elvis Regressor.
Regressor.
Now, this album should be considered one of the great rock and roll albums, but I bet if you asked the general public to name great rock and roll albums, nobody would say Elvis is back. Again, the singles, if the hit singles of 1960 had been on this album, everybody would know about it. Fantastic selection of songs. Reconsider Baby, I think, is one of the greatest blues recordings I've heard. I've listened to a lot of blues, but everybody on that track, on that moment, was inspired. It's absolutely fantastic. A great comeback. It was sort of skirting the rock and roll, going towards the pop period. So you've got some different selections on there. I just think it's a fantastic album. Number 2.
Yeah. You did a video the other day, Steve. I think you were showing some stuff you just got, and there was one copy of Elvis is Back that you showed. I kind of made me do a double take because I thought it said Elvis Vulva, but it said Elvis Vuelvo or something.
Yeah,
that's the Argentinian.
Oh, right.
Volvio Elvis.
Volvio. That's interesting because the one you just showed us was Spanish, right?
Cuban.
Oh, is it cute? Right. Okay, but the Cubans speak Spanish too, right? So they've used different words.
Yes, so yeah.
Even though they both speak Spanish.
Regressor.
I wonder what the difference is there. Maybe some Spanish speakers could tell us what the difference is between regressor and not vulva, but Volvio. Volvio, right.
Volvio.
All right, so we know what everybody's number ones are now. Well, speaking with Elvis is Back, that's obviously my number one. And I just love it for one, like nostalgic reasons. It's an album that has been around in my life pretty much since the beginning. It's one of the first albums I ever bought. I don't think there's a dull moment on it, never mind a dull song. You do get those sort of mid-side lesser tracks that you get on so many albums, like The Girl Next Door Went A-Walking, and the one on side one would be I Will Be Home Again, Dirty Dirty Feeling. But I just love those tracks, all of them. Mm-hmm. So there's no point at which I lose interest in that album, either side. Mm-hmm. So that's probably why that's my just edges from Elvis in Memphis to be number one for me. So Adam, we already know the answer, but talk about your number one.
Yeah, just to go back to Regressor, it translates to comeback.
Right.
I just did a quick check. Well, yeah, my number one is, and again, it was so difficult with the top 4 or 5 anyway, but I went for Elvis in Memphis. I mean, what an opening with wearing that Love Don't Look. Can't get it out tonight. Yeah, and I get what you mean about it slowing down a little bit with a country feel, where really Back in Memphis might be a little bit more of a consistent album. Just the power of some of these tracks. And I know I put it as number one because I just never ever tire of it. It goes on frequently, on the system. Yeah. So yeah, great album.
Yep. Okay, Steve, you obviously have the same number one. Tell us why it's number one.
As I say, it's the Israeli with the Hebrew on the cover.
Right, that's a fascinating cover because it looks like graffiti on the front there, doesn't it? It looks like someone's written it by
the hand. First time I saw this in a book, I thought that's what had happened. Somebody had written on the cover. Elvis's most cohesive album. Every track has its place. It flows brilliantly. Not a weak track on there. I am fascinated by the sound, how it's been mixed to that. There's a harshness to the sound, which doesn't appear on any other album. But it works. I wouldn't want to hear all of Elvis's albums mixed like that. But fantastic album. It's the album that if a non-fan says to me, what should I listen to? That's the one I direct them to first of all.
Right.
the only way it could have been better would have been to have the singles on again, of course. Fantastic album. It's one of the albums that I have no complaints about, which is unusual for an RCA album. I just think the cover is brilliant. Everything about it, fantastic.
When I moved to London when I was 20, I had boxes and boxes of records. I think more than half of them were Elvis, and I was living and working in a hotel, so in like a dormitory, and all my new colleagues were coming around into my room to have a look at the records in my boxes. And the only Elvis album that anyone showed any interest in was from Elvis in Memphis. And just to go back to the country songs on that album and Back in Memphis, which I said I wasn't that keen on, not as keen on as the others. Having said that, I do really like the country songs that you get on the Let's Be Friends album, If I'm a Fool, and especially I'll Be There. It's hard to imagine, it's kind of impossible to imagine either of those being on one of the RCA albums, but I do prefer them to the 3 tracks that they chose.
Yeah,
I like it. If I'm a Fool.
Yeah.
One thing I will mention as well, they did a great job with this album collection, didn't they?
Yeah.
As a CD set, putting all the little bonus pictures in and the artwork and everything.
All right, well, that's our rankings of Elvis's 60s music that came out on LP. Tell us what you think in the comments section below. Thanks again to Steve for joining us. Great to see him looking well. And maybe next time we'll get Mark up here for a video as well. But thanks to everyone for watching. See you all again next time. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Woo! You're fantastic. Yeah, good. Thank you very much.